right, what we have here is the Daffodils and Daisies junk journal kit. This is the mega kit. This is all the pieces I have already printed. I've already cut out and scored all the pockets and tuck spots and belly band and the folio and all that. And then these are all of the ephemera pieces and tags. Those have already been cut. And then this is the cover. I have already cut and scored the cover. And these are my pages. I have already, I don't cut these. You may have heard that on a previous video. I don't cut the, I don't cut them for the most part. For the most part, I tear them so that the edges are a little more, a little less rigid, and that helps to not only give it kind of a vintagey feel, but it also helps to camouflage some of the unevenness you get from cutting. Even if when I use a paper trimmer, sometimes it just, I'm not a precision person with that. I will be inking the edges, probably with either the coffee or maybe even the ground espresso. I haven't decided yet, but I will be inking the edges because I do like to cover up some of the white harshness of the edges. And then I've kind of gathered some companion pieces. So I have my book page. I always have a book page. I got a couple of extra pieces that these look like they are, they're kind of coordinating colors. They look like they're a little too harsh or too bright for this project, but by the time I do some inking and some collaging with them, I don't think they will be. I think they'll be a nice fit. Got an old piece of notebook paper here that's fairly thin and got some grunge to it. Have a couple of just scraps of paper, scraps of, these are actually stickers, but there's some vintage looking ephemera, and then a window envelope from some junk mail. I'll probably use that. And then I have an angel lady. I almost always put a paper doll in my junk journals. It's just because I've made a ton of them because they're fun to make and I need to use them, and I love them. I think they add a little bit of a whimsy component to it that I like. And then there's a tag for a label or of some sort. I also have this green pom-pom, because you know by now I like some sort of unexpected component. I'm not sure I'll end up going with the green, but I have it out here just in case I want to give it a shot. So after I get everything assembled, we will come back and do a walkthrough, and I will explain the process and let you see the finished product. So here we go. I have used one of the pieces of ephemera to fasten the this piece of elastic. That's my closure. And then I will take you on a little tour. We've got, this was another little tag that I found that matched the color scheme. It's one of the pieces of ephemera. This is a shaker card that I made with some sequins. I used the little pom-pom stuff. Remember I said I wasn't sure if this was going to fit my theme or not, but I like the way it looks. I used a piece of the ephemera for actually one of the journal cards for the back of the shaker card, and it kind of just fits, sits on this little paper clip. So here we have, I did, for the most part, I have double pages here, so I put the signature together in such a way that I could glue 2 pages together. It is regular copy paper, so it was fairly thin. This actually is a book page that I had. Remember, that was one of the pieces that I had. This is the folio. Got a little tuck spot there, and then I just used some old paper that I had and made a little short signature, or just a couple pages in here, and then that just tucks right into the belly band. This is, I think I showed you this in the beginning. Here's one of the envelopes with a little, just stapled some ribbon on the end. There's a tuck spot there. Here's a tuck spot. This was actually a piece of ephemera that I had made out of a tag with a metal ring on it. It was a red tag with a metal ring. I just made it look old, and then that's a picture of my father that I stuck on there. Here is where my angel lady ended up, my paper doll. Just kind of stuck on the page, but I did leave her wing to stick out a little bit. I like it when things stick out of the edge of the pages, so that sticks out just a tad. More pages, more tuck spots. There's one of the bookmarks that comes with the kit. That's just actually a little scripture card that I had laying around. I stuck in there. More pages. This one, instead of gluing the whole pages together, I just glued the edges. So now we have a tuck spot in here. My journal cards are in here. And then I also took an envelope and just glued the piece. You can kind of see the flap is glued down in there. And so now we have a tuck spot here, which is where the journal cards and these tags were. And then we also have a little, I used one of the pieces of ephemera to make a little short belly band on the envelope, and that's just a, I don't even know where that came from. It's got a rubber band as the tag, but I've just been laying around, so I just stuck it in there. But here we also can use the envelope, and I've stuck one of the journal cards in there. So there's a little tuck spot there, a little neat way to do it with a piece of envelope that's laying around. Just did a little collaging on these pages, but there's still plenty of room to write or sketch. There's a couple more pages. I love the big daffodil, and another little tuck spot there. And then there's our closure that just very simply closes like that. So there it is. These were the pieces of ephemera that I had gathered that were left over. I tend to keep them together for a little while because I will go through this journal several times before it's quote-unquote finished. And I do that just because other inspiration will hit me, and I may add a few little things here and there. Nothing much, because it's about the perfect size. It would fit nicely in someone's purse or briefcase or laptop bag. So I like the size. I don't want it to be too gator mouth, but I will maybe add some more to it. So I always keep the pieces that I pulled out that go along with this in an envelope over to the side for a little bit. And then once I decide that it's finished, I will restock these in with some of my other ephemera. So there we have it. There is our Daffodils and Daisies journal. Hope you like it. Hope you have a good time making your own.